Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. I'm your host, God of London, Dr. Norbert.
Nice. I am Prince of London, Jamie.
And if you haven't guessed it yet, we're going to do the second half of the Asgard affiliation box that came out this past summer in 2024.
Yes. We missed another trick. We should have said hailing from Midgard. There's a lot of Midgard going on in this box.
All right, so we're going to capture two characters this time around. One is called the Mighty Thor, and the other is called Lady Sif, so the female side of the box. And we split it up this way in particular because Lady Thor here has a leadership. So she complements the leadership that Loki 2 has. If you haven't heard about that, do check out our earlier episode on Asgard.
Yes. I'm very excited for this one, by the way. I love Natalie Portman as an actor. So I know that film wasn't liked by many people. I didn't enjoy it that much.
She was a little flat. She's either like fantastic or flat, I find, in her films, right?
Sure. Two of my favorite films have Natalie Portman in. So I think she's amazing, let down by a bad film. I'm glad she got her time to be Thor, and I thought she looked really cool. But yeah, let's not worry about the film too much. But I was excited for this character.
Like that whole scene in her room with the sink, and she's hitting the hammer in the sink. It just seemed forced. That's what it was.
Forced. Forced?
Forced. What did you think of her in Elektra?
Elektra?
She played Elektra.
Natalie Portman? No, you're thinking that's Jennifer Garner.
It's Jennifer Garner.
I'm
thinking Jennifer Garner.
She's great.
Oh yeah.
Jennifer Garner's great.
Yeah. She's great.
I watched Alias. Has anyone seen that? Alias, where Jennifer Garner was born.
Oh, I think so.
It's an old
I can't remember.
Alias series. Yeah, it's really cool. It's like she's like a spy. She's basically Elektra, just without the knives.
Oh yes, was she in like the woods, like in the winter somewhere during that?
I don't remember. Maybe.
No, it was like wasn't it her father who was teaching her to be like this? Or
That's Elektra.
Like that?
I don't know. We're confusing a lot of media now. Anyway, let's not talk about Elektra. God. Let's talk about Mighty Thor, Jane Foster.
Okay. Mighty Thor. Her name is Jane Foster. She is on a small base, 35 millimeter. She is 5 threat. She's size 2. She moves medium, but she has 8 health on her healthy side and 6 on her injured side. Her stats are 4 straight across the board. 4. Yeah. So a little bit, less expensive. So she's 5, not a 6 threat for a leader, but still rather healthy in terms of her stats and also her hit points. In terms of movement, I would say she's pretty standard.
Pretty standard. Yeah, small base, medium move. Yeah.
Yeah. So looking good, though. I mean, pay to flip specialist for sure.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Asgardian, so gets the additional power.
They're fantastic at pay to flips. It's just that they cost a lot of threat typically, and so you're not, you don't have as many chances to flip.
Yeah,
stuff.
that definitely feels like another thing. We mentioned this last episode of the Asgardian thing seems to be just big numbers because they're gods, right? They're above everything else. So like 5 threats, 4 threats, and 3 threats are rare in Asgard. And I don't know if we'll ever see a 2 threat. I quite like it because it's kind of like, these guys are...
2-threat Thor? It'd be the Throg.
The Throg, Throg or Fat Thor from Infinity or Endgame, whatever it was. Maybe.
That's a great idea.
Maybe, but I kind of like the idea of like, they're all gods, so they're all above everyone else, right? Which I think is really cool. And it's only people like Scourge as the 3 threat, which I think is quite cool. So, big numbers, big fat numbers.
All right, let's talk about her passive superpowers because they're quite easy. One is called Blessed by the All-Mother. And it's during the power phase she gains additional power, like all the Asgardians.
Oh yeah, I should mention. I said that she was Asgardian, so got additional. Sorry, she's not. She is blessed by the All-Mother. She's not from Asgard.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to make a comment on that. It's a different name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Law. I think that's. Yeah, I was going to say flavor. It's just flavor. Her other passive is that she has flight and she's immune to shock, which is good for her because she is essentially a beater in many respects. So being immune to shock is fantastic. Okay, 2 attacks. First one is a physical attack called Hammer Strike. It's range 3, 6 dice, 0 power. After the attack resolves, she gains power equal to the damage dealt, and she's got a wild throw. She could throw size 4 or less, and she has to throw it away short. So a far more reasonable trigger, effect on the trigger, and a trigger that's not going to happen very much. Kind of reminiscent of Thor 1's attack.
Yeah.
Where... Yeah. wouldn't you say?
Sure, yeah. This feels fair. This feels like a nice, six
Yeah,
dice,
right.
throw on a wild. Size 4 throw is very, very good. She's not an Avenger, but this under Steve 3 is fantastic because you're basically always going to get that trigger. Because you just pay 1 for leadership, get the wild. If you've probably rolled a hit with 6 dice, it's very likely. So very good builder, pretty reliable, just nice and good. Range 3, great.
Yeah. And the throw is not only is it short, but it's away.
Yes.
So it's another restrictive aspect to it. So again, just playing into the fairness of it. Okay. Her spender is an energy attack this time called Lightning Blast. Range 4, 8 dice, costs 4. It has a wild trigger called Electric Shock. Before damage is dealt, all characters within 2 of the target character suffer 2 damage, and that includes the target because the target's within 2 of itself. And the second one is after the attack is resolved, the target character gains the shock special condition.
That quick correction. So it's all other characters. So the target wouldn't suffer.
Oh, sorry.
You were alluding to something which I think is the number one reason why you should listen to Across the Bifrost, the best MCP podcast. This will hurt Jane because if she's within 2, because she is another character within 2 of the target, so this can hurt yourself.
Whoa. So thank you. That's really interesting because I went on run. So, okay, let's help explain this to the listeners. If it had said just all characters within 2 of the target character suffer 2 damage, then it would include the target character again. Yeah. Okay. Now, it doesn't say that. It says all other characters. Now, it doesn't say enemy or allied other characters. It just says other. So that's where your point comes into play, which I bet a ton of people don't remember 100%. Or don't realize that they need to do.
I bet they never realize this. And also, we'll get onto her leadership in a minute. Her leadership encourages her to get within 2. So you got to be careful because you're encouraged to get in close and this will hurt you. And it also hurts your friends. So I like this thematically, by the way, because Jane's kind of learning how to be Thor. And kind of messing up, like Lightning Blast. She's like, yes! And then like, oh, sorry, I hurt you and me. And it's kind of quite cool. I don't know if that was the intention, but let's pretend it was.
I think it's a great point, actually. And what's interesting about it is it's quite a bit of damage. Two damage as a splash damage is crazy.
Very, very strong. Anyone that's played Mystique knows that suffering 2 automatic damage is horrific. What I love about this is it's range 4 as well. I think you're going to surprise a lot of backpoint sitters with this because I suspect under her own leadership, Mighty Thor's going to be in the middle fighting, on a central point. And then she gets 4 power. She can just be like, bang, 8 dice at your backline because it's range 4 away. And then if there's a little clump of people there, they're all going to take, if you get the wild, they're going to take 2 auto damage. It's just, it's great. It's really, really, really strong and very unique as well. We've not really seen many attacks like this.
Now, talking about reaching out, that range 3 is amazing because I played against her once on a D map, and she stood between 2 different points, like a side point and a home point, let's say. She's right between them, and she's able to attack both points with her range 3 attack.
Range 3?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe it was lightning bolts. I can't remember, but it was maybe it was one of each, basically, the way the guy had positioned her. But the point is that she just had to stand there, and I was like being pummeled no matter which point I was standing on.
And the strength of Asgardian characters is because they're getting 2 power a turn. They're hard to ignore because if you ignore them and don't power them up, they're still getting 2 power turns. They can still do half what they want to do.
Yes, exactly. Okay, superpowers. She's got 2 active ones. The first one's called For Midgard. Not Midgard. Misery. It's 3 power. It's an action. Basically, it's a charge. She can move action, followed by an attack action, but when making that attack, she can also re-roll up to 2 of its dice, only once per turn. So it's a fantastic charge for 3 power.
Very, very good charge. We talked last episode about Thor's builder being 7 dice and how enormous this is. This turns her 6 dice builder into a potentially 8 dice because you're re-rolling 2. It's actually worse. And you're hopefully fishing for the wild because you want the throw on her hammer strike. This is a great charge.
Yeah, 3 power. So it's not quite online initially, but close to it.
Yeah,
anyway.
We should talk about that quickly. All the Asgard characters are all perfectly balanced, and AMG have done a very good job at balancing them in their own affiliation because they all have really cool powers that cost 3. and they all gain 2 a turn. So it calms them down. Their round 1 is nice and fair. As soon as you splash these guys anywhere that gives them power, I've been playing Mighty Thor and Professor X because I can just get Nightcrawler to go and bamf somewhere and then chuck her a power and she can charge straight away. Under Steve 1 Avengers, anywhere that has power tricks, this charge is online round 1. So you're just going, okay, I'll move and then charge and hit you with 8 dice. Like it's big.
Yeah. Okay, her other superpower is called Inner Strength. It's also 3 power cost. Choose an interactive terrain feature of size 4 or less within 2 and throw it medium. So a very fair terrain throw.
Very fair, and doesn't throw characters, which is, more fair. It feels fine. And it kind of feels like an Asgardian thing to smash terrain, which I quite like. I like the idea of them coming down to Earth or Midgard and just smashing the place up because they don't care. We need to kill that guy, so I'm going to throw this bus at him. Very cool.
Yeah, only once per turn, which is pretty standard. Okay, the last superpower is a reactive one. If she be worthy, costs 2 power. When this character is defending against a physical or energy attack during the modified dice step, it may use this superpower. The character may reroll any number of its defense dice. We've talked about this. Now, we've talked about in other shows about how paying power to gain a couple of defense dice is dubious. Yeah. What do you think, though, of paying 2 power to reroll any of the dice that she has, which is admittedly quite a number, like 4. It's 4 across the board.
It's definitely interesting. The strength here is that you can see the result first. That's strength, because you can see how...
that's true.
Because it's reroll any, you can see, if you roll 4 blanks, this is a great power. Pay 2, reroll 4, try and fix that. If you block, you block 2, you've got 1 blank, 1 skull, you can choose, okay, I'm not going to do that power. Not very valuable, I'm only rolling 1 die. So that's the strength there. I think it's quite good.
I feel it's better than getting 2 dice.
Definitely.
Honestly,
definitely, for knowledge is very good. Knowledge is very powerful in this game, and timing of these rerolls is very good. So, you get to see, and also because you're defending, any rerolls that the attacker has, they make those rerolls. So they do all of their shenanigans. So you basically see the final result, and then decide whether you want to use this. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. The only thing that foils you in general in these situations is recal.
Yes, the recal changes
right?
The whole thing. Then everything gets rerolled at the end. But that's fine,
Yeah. Keep in mind, though, if the defender has recal, they can also then play it after the attacker's recal happens.
Recal their recal, yeah.
Which is kind of funny. Okay. Strong character. Oh, we didn't get to her leadership, but I'll just say, I think a strong character, absolutely. Unbalanced, no.
Feels very fair.
Very fair.
That's not a bad thing. I mean, we need to really try and not compare her to Thor, Hero of Midgard, who came out same box. The Mighty Thor doesn't really get spoken about because that Thor is so strong, so powerful. The other Thor, Thor 2. Thor 2 feels like a threat and a half more than this Thor. So I think that in isolation, very fair 5 threat is going to do a lot of work for you. That charge is amazing. She's going to be getting around the board. Yeah, I think fair is a good thing. She feels right. She feels worth 5 threat, I think.
Yeah. Now, let's get to her leadership. It's an Asgardian leadership called Renegade Thor of Asgardia. I love that. Renegade Thor. Okay, once per turn, when an ally character attacks an enemy character within 2 of itself, the ally character may reroll one of its attack dice for free. Just happens. Additionally, once per turn, when an enemy character targets an ally character with an attack, if the enemy character is not within 2, the ally character may reroll one of its defense dice. So basically, it's saying you get a bonus if you're attacking within 2 of yourself, and you get a bonus if you are being attacked from outside of 2.
I really like this because thematically, I imagine it being like a charge. Like there's like a force charging the enemy, and they're getting shot at on the way in, and they're getting lots of deflecty, defense stuff. And then once they're in, they're like, yes, I'm here now, and I get lots of attack dice. I think it's cool. I see this as, I'm a mutant player, so I see this as a nice combo of X-Force and Storm X-Men. It's kind of both of their leaderships in the middle.
Yeah. Good point. And so that brings me into thinking about be cool to have movement tricks on your character so that you can put yourself in the right position to these sorts of things. Like fallback would be good for instance, is a tactics card anyway, because you could fall back, and even if you're going to get attacked despite the fallback, you're likely to be outside of 2 at that point, and so you can get the reroll on the defense die.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, fallback's very good. You can, like, with this Thor, she's got a charge. So yeah, like you say, get attacked, fall back into range of your defensive reroll, and then on your turn, you charge back into range 2 and get all your get your offensive. So it's really cool, yeah. Feels like a very good introductory leadership as well. You know, there's not too many hoops to dive through. It's just, in general, when you're punching up close, you do good. When you get shot from far away, you do good. It's quite, again, fair. Fair is the word. It feels very nice, fair, just a good, solid leadership.
Yep. I think the trick of it is that a lot of the Asgardians have those nice longer range attacks now. And so you're tempted to use those like that, which makes sense. But this one rewards you for trying to get closer in.
Sure. I think that it's a brawly. I think you're looking for the attack dice more than a defense dice here. Maybe
for sure.
Me speaking as a Storm player as well, because the defensive reroll is cute. It's nice. It's not essential. You're not taking Storm because she has that reroll, right? You're taking it for the Storm hop. So I think, and the way that this character plays, she wants to get in. She wants to fight. So yeah, just be careful with that spender, because you might want to get within 2 to do your spender, and then you'll damage yourself. Get wild. So yeah, careful with that.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Longshank's stats. Loki win rate, Loki 2 win rate right now is 60%. So fantastic. But Mighty Thor is also 60%, although albeit, a quarter as many games.
A quarter of the games, yeah. I think that Mighty Thor is suffering from being in the shadow of Loki from this box.
Yeah.
I think if Mighty Thor came out in her own box, if Mighty Thor had come out before Loki, everyone would have switched to Mighty Thor's leadership because it's better than the old Thor, right? I think. And they would have had a great time. And then Loki would have come out and they would have switched to that. Because Loki's leadership is just fantastic. It's essentially the same as this leadership, except you're spending a power, but then Loki's getting powered up. I think that if you don't like Loki's playstyle, which is that's my camp. I'm not a big fan of how Loki plays. I don't like that kind of tricks and traps sort of stuff. But a lot of people do. If I had to play Asgard, I'd play this leadership because it's pretty similar. You're getting rerolls, but you get to play Jane as the leader, which I think is great. I think a very good, solid leadership and leader that has just been overshadowed by something that is very, very strong.
Yeah, agreed. She is also affiliated with A-Force. So what do you think about her in A-Force? What comes to mind right away is that she's expensive, and A-Force has already got a really expensive leader.
That's true. Yeah, you have to take She-Hulk at the moment. A-Force. Yeah, I think A-Force are a future problem. I think because their affiliated list is phenomenal. It's just so many good characters, and Mighty Thor is one of them. If you look at the A-Force, look at that. We're looking at Black Cat, one of the best 3 threats in the game. Domino, an amazing 3 threat. Medusa, an amazing 4 threat. Shuri, amazing. Spider-Woman.
Black Widow 3.
Yeah, Black Widow 3. Even Valkyrie. Gamora. There's just their affiliation list is so good. Spider-Woman, yeah. And they're weighed down at the moment by She-Hulk being a little lackluster. So I think if you enjoy, but by the way, that leadership is incredible, and I got my ass kicked by it at WTC. I forgot the name, the number 1 A-Force player in the world. It was a Swedish guy, and he just dominated. I think She-Hulk is the only weak link in that list right now. Maybe we'll see something happen to her at some point, and then I think A-Force.
Did he have Lady Thor in his A-Force roster?
No, it was A-Force. It was She-Hulk and a bunch of little people that benefited from the extra power from the leadership. It was horrible. So I think right now A-Force don't really get a look in. I suspect we'll get a leader for them one day, or She-Hulk will get some sort of buff, and then I think we'll actually see them everywhere because they're amazing. Yeah. And Mighty Thor, I hope will get a look in. Maybe not with She-Hulk as a leader. I think they would need a cheaper leader for Mighty Thor to show up there. But
that's the problem.
I hope one day. I want to see a rescue come in. Rescue as a leader. That'd be great. But maybe one day.
I mean, just to kind of cap this off, is that the leadership in A-Force is that people get a power. You can pass a power to one of your characters when another one gets damaged, right? So, I mean, it loads her up with even more power. Or if she's doing damage, she'd be giving other people power, essentially. And, is that really, could she be really good in that job? Yeah, probably by generating a lot of damage, she'd be able to give out power pretty reliably.
Yeah, well, it's certainly one of those power leadership that I mentioned that make her really good. You can put someone on the midline round one, leave Mighty Thor back at deployment, and then as soon as any of your characters take damage, give Mighty Thor the power. The one power she needs to then charge round one. So I think she's completely activated by that, albeit if your opponent attacks you, which is the main downside. But yeah, I think that one day A-Force are going to be a very popular affiliation. I think she'll show up then.
I can see that. Okay, she's got one card that's attached to her. It's an Asgardian card called Heart of the Worthy. It's reactive. At the end of the activation phase, the Mighty Thor may spend 2 power to play this card. The Mighty Thor removes her activated token, then she immediately activates. During the next cleanup phase, the Mighty Thor is KO'd. Now, you like to talk about thematics. AMG has got this dialed in. Man, is this really flavorful.
When I saw this card, I immediately messaged Mike Fieldmay, who is my go-to comic guy. And he told me the story that this was based on. I won't spoil it, but it's awesome. So I'm going to I now have Marvel Unlimited. I'm actually going to read this comic.
Ooh, Marvel Unlimited is having a sale right now.
Yes, I got it in the sale.
It's pretty cheap. Yeah. Oh, good for you. Yeah, nice one. So look, basically, she spends 2 to get another activation at the end of the activation phase. So everything's been done. So you know exactly what's happened and what needs to happen for you to theoretically win. And 2 power is nothing. She'll have the 2 power.
Sure.
And she goes, and then she's off the table, which means potentially she doesn't have to be when she's the leader, right? So you may not lose the leadership, but probably if you're playing Lady Jane, Lady Thor, she's going to be your leader. So that's another aspect of losing her.
Yeah, sure. I think that this has to be a game-winning play for you to use it. Because it's 5 threat, and if you lose 5 threat, and then there's another round to play, you're 5 threat down, you're going to struggle. So I think you keep this, and this will catch people off guard as well. It has caught me off guard a couple of times because no one expects another activation. And again, like her rerolls, you activate this at the end of the round after everyone's gone, so you have full knowledge of how everything sits. Nothing's going to change after you play this card, except that she gets another turn. So I think that you want to wait until this is either game winning. Or if you're about to lose priority and the Mighty Thor is going to KO next round, then you play it. It feels like insurance. And then
now let me. You like to talk about weenie uses of cards like this. I'm just reading the timing of this. Does this mean that she could actually walk to some extract that's sitting on the floor and pick it up? You would still score that, and then she would get KO'd. You see? So you look it up, but in the meantime, what I'm thinking about is that she could not use it to an attack. She could move it to pick up an extract or move to a secure and pay to flip it. Or something, or throw somebody off of it. Or no, she can't do that, but pay to flip something or pick up something. So it's not like the dramatic, she's going to wipe out something and therefore win the game. But can she do that? I think that's the case.
It says during the next cleanup phase, the Mighty Thor is KO'd. And the cleanup phase is when characters like...
You start...
Oh, wait.
Yeah, but you start cleanup phase by scoring.
Yeah, so I think you're fine. I think you score. Yeah.
Yeah. So she could... Like, if you do one of those things where a cosmic cube thing, where you kill the character and he's like Mario and he just throws all the cubes up in the air and they're scattered all over the place. So she could run over, scoop them all up, get the points... hopefully to win, and then die.
Just implode like a star, just boom, in a shower of VPs. I think that's exactly what I think this card is for. I think it's riskier to play and then go, I need to go and kill someone. I need to go and roll some attacks.
Yeah, exactly. I think my plan is actually a little more sensible, to be honest, if less dramatic.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Pay to flips is interesting. Yeah, because she's got good stat lines for pay to flips, right? She's Thor stat line. So I think activating this card and then getting another chance to flip 2, or she's not that fast, so maybe 2 pay to flip is a big deal. That's game winning. So I think you only take this. You only play this when it's a game winning play. Maybe there's like a couple niche scenarios where, like, say a Hulk has survived on a couple health, and then you go, right, I need him dead, next round, so I'll sacrifice Lady Thor for that to happen. Yeah, I think it's a good card. I think it's great. The thing is, it's not a slam dunk because she doesn't have any like guaranteed displacement. She can't throw characters around.
No.
If she had a character throw, and you go, cool, activate this, go throw that guy off a point and score it yourself. That's big, right?
Yeah.
Her throws are dice dependent. So yeah, I think it's a very good card. I think you should take it most games. Just there's going to be some skill involved when you play it.
Agreed. Totally agree. All right, let's move on to the other lady in the box. Her name is Lady Sif, and her alter ego is just Sif. That's it. Okay. She is on a 35mm base as well. She's a 4 threat. She has size 2. She moves medium, and she's got 6 health on both sides of her card. Her defense stats are 4 physical, 3 energy, and 3 mystic. How do you feel about this stat line for a 4 threat?
4-3-3 is fine for a 4 threat. 6
fine.
health. Yeah, what's she got on her injured side? Health?
No, 6.
Six
Yeah,
is
same
fine.
again.
You know, okay. You just have. Oh, we'll get to it, but she has damage reduction. So
Yeah,
this is the lizard stat line.
Yeah, the lizard.
A lizard is, he's
very rude.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, 4-3-3, 6 health, damage reduction. Except lizard can heal. So
do you remember we're talking about Pamela Anderson in another episode? That reminds me, when I was growing up, one of the first pornographic computer games ever, which was of course a little 8-bit kind of.
Are you going to talk about Leisure Suit Larry?
Yes, Leisure Suit Larry. You know him?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Wow. Respect. How does a guy of your generation know about Leisure Suit Larry?
I play games. Or did. I don't play those games anymore. But yeah, when I was a kid, that was a game I discovered. Yeah.
So it's Leisure Suit Larry and Lady Sif.
Yeah.
They're the same. Yeah?
Awful era of the games industry, which we shouldn't be talking about anymore. But yeah.
Okay.
We should talk about that. I actually want to call something out, which we don't normally do on character cards. The art on this card is by Patrick Brown, who is my favorite MCP artist. I have his picture of Jean Grey. The new Jean Grey artwork is by Patrick Brown, and it looks awesome. And I really like the Lady Sif look here. She looks great. She's very striking.
I thought the same thing. Before you even mentioned anything, just as I was calling up the card, I was like, man, that picture just pops.
It looks great. Patrick Brown's amazing. You should Google his work because he does loads of Marvel stuff for other games as well. When you first look at his website, you think you've come across a treasure trove of MCP leaks because he's got loads of characters that aren't in the game and they're completely in MCP style, but it's for other games as well. But yeah, Patrick Brown, an amazing artist, probably my favorite artist in MCP, and this is one of his. Yeah.
Kudos to AMG for actually crediting their artists, unlike certain other companies with 2 letters abbreviation. Never mind. Moving along. She's got 2 passive superpowers. Asgardian. During the power phase, she gains an additional power. Okay. And then she's got one called Battle Tested. When this character would suffer damage from any effect, not an attack, anything, reduce the amount of damage suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1. Which, is lizards the same, or is it just from attacks?
Lizards is the same, yeah.
It's the same. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's great. So that makes her a little sturdier.
Yeah. Very sturdy. Lizard is taken, because he survived. That's his whole job. And all that Sif is missing is the healing factor. So, yeah, very, very tanky.
Okay, cool. She's got 2 attacks. One is physical, called Warrior Born. It's range 2, 5 dice, 0 power. After the attack is resolved, you gain power equal to the damage dealt. So that's a builder. She's got 2 triggers. One is a wild push. She can push targets size 3 or less. She just pushes them short, any direction. Her other trigger is a little harder. It's a crit wild called Follow Up. After this attack is resolved, this character may advance short towards the target character, which is really nice. Keep in mind that if you're playing Loki 2, you get to reroll one of your dice if you pay a power.
If you're playing
so that can help get that
Mighty Thor as well. You're within 2, which this attack's range 2. So under Mighty Thor, you get a reroll.
Yes. All right. So she takes advantage no matter who's leading. Fantastic. Good attack. Displacement's always great, even if it is on a trigger, but nothing crazy. Her other attack is physical, called Warrior Forged. It's range 3, 7 dice, costs 3 power. She's got just one special ability on it. It's a crit hit trigger called Mighty Bash. After the attack is resolved, if the target character is size 3 or less, this character throws the target medium, and then this character advances short.
Very cool.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I love... Sorry, go on.
It's a rules question because these are weird. Does the second sentence depend on the first? In other words, does she have to have thrown the character to then be able to advance short?
After touch resolve, or is the character medium? Then this character. Well, if you get the trigger.
No, you certainly have to get the trigger. But my point is, no, or indomitable, or if the target character is size 4, so you won't be able to throw it.
That's a good point. I don't know.
Because I bring this up because a lot of these rules are hard to parse, meaning to say rules are sometimes the first thing or the second thing depends on the first thing. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And the nuances that the what do you call them? The people who do rulings, they say, when you look them up, it tells you like, oh, because of this is this, but it never made like there wasn't a continuity for me to always follow to make sure that I knew. I feel like the word "then" here makes it feel like there are separate parts of the ability.
Yeah.
So regardless what happens about the throw, you could still advance short.
I'm looking at this is a robbery. So this is a robbery. If you used when mission objective was still in the game, if you mission objective the objective, it meant it wasn't dropped, and then Rhino couldn't throw you. So that says the chosen character drops any objective tokens that it is holding, full stop. Rhino then throws the chosen character. It says then. So I think no. Because you haven't thrown, I think you then can't move.
Okay. Why don't you look up Warrior Forged in the AMG. And by the way, what AMG what Jamie's doing is he's looking up AMG have a rules forum, an old school rules forum, not a Discord server, not a WhatsApp group. Remarkably, it's an actual forum like the old days, which we could talk about on another time about how Discord is trying to become like forums with its threads and stuff and failing miserably. But there you go. Forums, why do they go away? Why? Anyhow, AMG maintains one, and it has all kinds of official rulings in it, and it's a great resource for you to have bookmarked. So, have I vamped long enough for you to search for Warrior Forged?
I'm furiously Googling in the background, and there's nothing for Warrior Forged.
Google? No.
Oh, yeah,
Google
or look on the forum as well. There's nothing on there for Warrior Forged.
Interesting. All right, we'll have to resort to finding out and doing a post-episode update.
For sure, yeah. Okay,
wow.
We'll do some Googling, but I'm going to go with it doesn't work because that it's got the same wording as this is a robbery, so that would be my guess.
Okay, all right, something to be aware of. Anyhow, what do you think of her 2 attacks? I feel like to me that they're absolutely fair, definitely interesting, definitely useful, but nothing like oh my god.
Yeah, they're very trigger dependent. They need their triggers. I can see this character showing up under Steve 3 for that reason, because Steve 3 likes to help them get their triggers. And obviously the rerolls from both the 2 Asgard leaderships we mentioned before will help with that. I like the thematics of it because everything, it's like little pushes, little advances, little throws, little advances. It's all very, she feels like a swordsman, you know what I mean? In the middle. And her sculpt makes her look like that. She's like kind of, she's holding a sword in like a stance. She knows what she's doing. So it kind of feels like you're tussling around, and getting the right kind of perfect positioning. So it feels very thematic. So yeah, good triggers, very fair. You probably shouldn't make these attacks relying on those triggers. These are just nice bonuses if they do come up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with all that. That's exactly the sense I got from her. She's kind of like a little bit of a juiced Valkyrie, who's 1 threat less.
Exactly. She's completely. They took the Valkyrie mold and just upped the threat.
Yeah. So perfectly fair.
And Valkyrie is great, by the way. Valkyrie is a fantastic.
Yeah,
these both. Yeah. We'll get on to that in a minute.
Less survivable, but yes, yeah. Okay, she's got 2 superpowers. One is an active one called Charge. Guess what it does? You get to move and then do an attack action. You can only use once per turn. It costs you 2. Yeah. The reactive one.
Sorry, quickly on the charge. Big deal
please.
Here, which is the big shining star for me for Sif, is that it costs 2, and she's an Asgardian. She can charge around 1.
Which was the problem with Valkyrie back in the day. Remember?
Yeah. And they changed it, so Valkyrie can also charge for 2. Sorry, 2. So it means that, and I love the thematics of that as well, because it means that you can have Valkyrie on one flank, Sif on the other flank, and they can both move and charge around 1. While you've got
no, Valkyrie can't any longer.
Oh, did they change that?
Yeah, that's the thing. People were losing their minds because she could charge on 2.
Oh no, she still can. She still can.
What? I thought they changed it to 3.
No? Well, look at the card now. 2.
What? Wait a minute.
I don't remember any Valkyrie hate.
Oh yeah, it was
Asgardian's might was changed.
Maybe you know what? It was a
was
throw.
the throw.
It was a throw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
got
everybody.
changed to 3. Yeah. So my point still stands. You can put Sif and Valkyrie together, and they can both move and charge. So I think that's fantastic. It's really cool as well that it's like the women of Asgard can do this. And the guys are kind of at the back, which I love. That's really cool. I think one day we'll probably see a Warriors 3 pack run out, and we'll get some more of those. And it's really fun. So I love the idea of, again, with the thematics of, Jane Foster's leadership, where you get the defensive rerolls until you're in, then you get the offensive ones. I love the idea of Sif and Valkyrie just like charging in for that. Feels really cool. So that is a big deal. She can charge round 1.
Yeah. And don't forget, her 2 attacks also have short movements of hers that are trigger dependent, admittedly, but nonetheless, she's quite mobile. Is the point?
Sure,
Okay, the last superpower she has is Master Swordsman. Sorry, it's Master Swordswoman, which is a reactive superpower, which costs you 2. When this character is attacked by physical attacks or targets a character with a physical attack, which that's all she has, it may use this superpower. If the enemy character is within 2, this character may reroll any number of its attack or defense dice.
Yeah, huge.
Whoa.
And where have we seen this before?
Oh yeah, the most common character in the game.
Baron Zemo.
Baron Zemo 1.
Yeah, Baron Zemo 1. The most ridiculous superpower on a 2 threat. Now, Baron Zemo comes with his own innate reroll, which makes it a little bit worse. But so does Sif if she's in Asgard. She's got Mighty Thor's reroll. She's got Loki's reroll. So this is. I suspect that if Baron Zemo ever gets put in his place and gets nerfed, I think people will love Lady Sif a lot more because she has the same attack: 5 dice physical, pay 2 to reroll any. Roll any.
Any,
and then
which is even better.
And then under the right leadership, she's exactly the same as Zemo. So she hits the same. She hits as hard as he does. The fairness comes from her spender doesn't have a guaranteed advance off of it, and her charge isn't a long move. But apart from that, it's pretty equal to Zemo, who is the best 3-threat murderer in the game. So this is strong.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think she's just a lot of fun, a lot of versatility to her, quite dangerous, not too easy to put down. Fantastic. I mean, what more can you want?
Yeah, sure.
She's not part of A-Force, which is probably a good thing, to be honest. Because I think she would be great in A-Force, being only 4th threat and doing all this.
She can splash. Be splashed in there, yeah. I think she's great. I think I played her a bit. A lot of people splash her in Hellfire because in Hellfire you want tanky characters, and Hellfire give her a heal as well, so she just stays alive forever. And the word that comes to mind when I was playing her every time was busy. She is busy because she's charging and she pays for her own charge. Completely self-funded with the Asgardian power. She don't need no man.
To pay for
she don't
her
need
charge.
no one. No one's paying Sif. She's getting shit done. She's running around. She's charging. She's fishing for those triggers. I think the only downside to her is that her triggers are quite dicey, right? But with the right leadership, maybe under either Asgard leader that we've mentioned. I know there is another one, the Thor one, but we haven't spoken about him. She's getting the rerolls. So dice dependent, but very busy. Is always going to do a lot of work. She's basically always going to double tap on her turn because she's got the charge. Master Swordsman is fantastic. So I think she's great. She's great. She's like a fair 4-threat Zemo.
Yeah, I can't see like any particular place to splash her, only because she probably fits fine in any place.
Yeah, she's just a standard like beater, right? She just wants to beat people up.
Yeah.
She doesn't need power. Like the other Asgardians need power. Or not need, but they benefit from having extra power. Her kit is fully self-funded. She's fine. I mean, her being a 4th threat is the only downside. You're comparing her to other 4th threat.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why. That's the only reason why you wouldn't take her, is because she loses the benefit of affiliation aspect of those other characters. They may have very particular types of triggers or superpowers that help kind of your game plan. I hesitate to say vanilla. She's vanilla, but she's a very good flavored vanilla.
Madagascar vanilla.
She's high quality vanilla.
I think she's great. I think she wherever she is, she's going to do work. A lot of work because she's hard to bring down and she's got a lot to do on her turn. So very fair model. Look at that art on the injured side. The artwork looks so cool, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, look, you can see her cape a little bit better in this.
It's got
one.
Xena Warrior Princess vibe.
Yeah. Ooh, look at you with the constant old school
I am
references.
older than you realize.
Wow. Xena. Whoa. Okay, so do you think Xena and her little friend were romantically involved?
Hasn't
or
that been
not?
confirmed? I thought that was a whole thing recently.
Oh, I don't know. I stopped watching it when I was a kid, so I never saw
think that
like
it was all supposed to be
subsequent.
like, like you back then you couldn't have that on TV, but everyone sort of knew it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But yeah, Patrick Brown.
Who did you like better, the Xena or I forget her name? I'm so sorry. What was
I don't
the
know.
other
I
character's
didn't fully watch it. You're testing me too much now. I was more of a Hercules guy. I was watching the Hercules series.
Look her up. Well, you know who I'm talking about anyway. Who was more attractive to you?
I don't know. I was a kid when this came on. I don't know. I wasn't watching it for that.
Oh,
do you know what I've
please.
just remembered though? What's his name? He's in The Boys and played Aemir. Carl Urban was in this. A
He
very
was?
very young Carl Urban.
Wow. God, he was playing to type already back then. Amazing.
Yeah, there you go.
He was also Judge Dredd in the really good Judge Dredd underrated movie.
That is very underrated, isn't it?
Oh my God, is it underrated? That is such a good movie. And it had the lady from Game of Thrones in it as the antagonist.
Oh, Lena Headey? Yeah.
Is that her name?
Headey.
The-
Yeah. God, I'm going down a big old rabbit hole now in IMDb.
Woof. Oh.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Lady Sif.
Okay. All right. So young Jamie couldn't tell which
No.
of the two ladies he liked better. No.
No.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it that, although I highly doubt it. Anyway, we're moving on. She has no cards to attach to her. So we are going to, I think we're going to do Sleeve It and Heave It and then reflect on Asgard afterwards.
Asgard
What do
in
you say?
general, yeah. I think just closing thoughts on Sif. I think that she's, like I say, busy. She's great. She works under both leadership. I actually really like the idea of her under Mighty Thor. That extra reroll is going to be great. She's always going to be exactly where she wants to be because of the charge. So yeah, very, very good stuff. Okay, so Sleeve It or Heave It?
Yeah. Sleeve It or Heave It.
Sleeve it or heave it, take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it, can't you believe it?
Cool. All right. So this week's Sleeve It or Heave It is going to be for a limited time only.
Yeah, we made a big mistake last episode. Sorry. We fully admit that we overlooked one card that came in the box and is attached to Thor. So we should have done it in the previous episode.
We could have got away with that, Norbert. You hadn't said anything. No one would have noticed.
Listen. If we want Patreons, we need to be honest.
Good point. Okay. Full transparency. Fair enough. Okay, cool. Do you want to read this out then for a limited time only?
Yeah, for a limited time only is Asgard card, and it's active. During Thor 2's activation, he may spend 3 power to play this card. For the rest of this round, while other allied characters are within 4 of Thor, they may have Thor's Blessing superpower. Okay? So Thor's Blessing is a passive superpower. This character adds 1 die to its attack rolls. Additionally, after this character makes an attack, if it dealt damage, the target character gains the shock special condition. Now, that superpower sounds really good. A free die, just free. And then this thing, if you do a little bit of damage, at least 1, you get to put shock, which is a decent condition on somebody. That's just amazing. And it's all other allied characters. They don't have to be Asgardians. It's anybody within 4 of Thor 2. He has to spend 3, which is a fair amount, but he's generally loaded with power anyway, so not the biggest hurdle. Wow, this is a good card.
You think?
I think it's good. What I mean, for a whole round, you got all of your players doing extra damage essentially.
Yeah.
And think about how Crimson Dynamo puts out shocks all the time, and it aggravates everybody.
Yeah,
right.
Sure. Yeah, I think in an attrition versus attrition matchup, great. Give out shock. You're hitting them harder for a round, and they're hitting you less hard because they've all got shock on. I think it's pretty cool. I just think that I think Thor has better things to spend 3 power on, and
Possibly.
maybe this is my bias because I know about BLT, the Beta Ray Bill Loki Thor team up, and I know that you tend to go narrow when you're playing Thor 2 because he's so expensive. And so you're not getting as much value out of this because you're only going to have like 2 other characters, 3 other characters maybe that are going to benefit from this with attack. I think thematically, because on the card art there, he's doing it to Ghost Spider. I think thematically, this is for like Thor surrounded by a bunch of 3 threats. And like, go forth and, you know, give them shock, impact webbing shock. You know, it's kind of cool. But I think where you're going to see Thor mostly, I think, in teams where it's narrow. But I mean, I also don't really love Stark's Armory or Galaxy's Greatest. Is that the one with the big dumb hero tokens where they get 1 extra die? But people do. People think it's great. So maybe I'm wrong. You know, I don't know. I don't know dice math. So maybe.
I think you're right though. First of all, I kind of glossed over this part of it, but it's only when the other allied characters are within 4 of Thor, so they kind of have to kind of hover around him. Now 4 is quite big bubble, so that's not the end of the world. But let's just keep that in mind. So like really wide maps is a problem because you're not going to get the people in there. But I think the other point I think you've been alluding to is that ideally you'd want a whole bunch of weenies around him to take advantage, you know, multiply the potential of the card. But the problem is when you're playing Asgard, you don't have a lot of weenies. It's just, you know, you're looking at more substantial characters.
Yeah, sure. The kind of the benefit, the theme behind Asgard is they're all like, you know, 4, 5, 6 threats because they're big guys. I can see this being cool for like, you know, if you've got Lady Sif and Valkyrie around you, you know, they're gonna double tap because they've got a charge. So that's 2 extra dice they're gonna get. Scourge, yeah. I mean, this is cool on characters like Domino and Mystique, you know, where they got rapid fire.
Oh, whoa, yeah.
You know,
that's amazing.
I guess it's any character that benefits from having a hammer, right?
Or beams.
Beams. Oh god, yeah. I didn't think about that. Yeah, beams. Like a Crimson Dynamo with this is horrific. So I think that's what it is. Maybe that's a good point. I'm thinking about it. Okay, well, you're adding 1 dice to your 2 attacks. That's fine. But no, actually, rapid fire characters and beam characters really benefit from this. Because you're then rolling like 4, 5, 6 extra attack dice in the round, which is pretty cool actually. So yeah, fair. That is a good point.
Now, that isn't the normal play pattern of typical Asgardians players today, so keep that in mind. But if you want to go against the grain and you're putting together characters that splash like that, like we just talked about, then this card might become more important.
Yeah, for sure. I'm playing X-Force at the moment. I'm actually thinking about this in X-Force because giving Domino an extra dice, giving X-23 an extra dice, Cable, that's actually pretty crazy. Oh, wait, no, it's an Asgard affiliated card. Never mind. This is only for fair enough. Okay, so I guess if you're splashing, you know, a Crimson Dynamo or, you know, a rapid fire character in your Asgard, this might be more beneficial. But yeah, we've said it before. Maybe we should talk about it now. There are better Asgard cards out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe we should let's do a big sleeve out here, but maybe go through a couple Asgard cards. We haven't mentioned. One.
Let's do a wrap up on where we're thinking now. But let me quickly. I got a boo late bulletin. Good old AJ, who was considered one of the judges for the WTC 2 years ago. I wrote him about this the wording on Lady Sif's spender about whether the throw. If you can't throw the target for some reason, does she still get to advance short the second half of her ability? He says, I don't think so. It has the same wording as Chains of Sidorak on Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is how I remember, as if he can't push, he can't incinerate. So hers is the same.
So so choose. I'm reading Chains of Sidorak. Choose an enemy character within 3, push it towards his character. Then the chosen character gains incinerate. Yeah, so if you Indomitable the push, you don't gain incinerate. So yeah, I think. So yeah, I was right.
So what?
You can't move.
You were right.
If you can't throw,
you were right.
There you go. Oh, well done, AJ.
Yay, AJ. How much did you pay him?
Yeah.
You throwing some of that Patreon money at him? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Cool. All right, great. So yeah, let's go over some Asgard cards. Let's talk about we've kind of judged all these tactics cards based on how strong the rest of them are. So it's about time we went through them, to be honest. So
let me call them up. Hold on a second. So I'm going to call up on good old Jarvis's Protocol. If you're not using Jarvis's Protocol, you should. It has everything you ever wanted about information about the game, rules about the game, all the cards, a team builder, collection builder. It's an amazing ecosystem that you should really take advantage of. So I'm calling up Jarvis's Protocol, and it very quickly finds all the tactics cards attached to Asgard. Let me just get rid of the ones that are duplicates. There we are. That's easier. Okay, so we've talked about so far in our 2 episodes, for a limited time only, Freya's Blessing, Heart of the Worthy, Trickster's Boon. Those are the ones we've talked about. The three remaining ones, and I would say are the ones that are kind of stapled into the affiliation, are as follows: Rainbow Bridge, Odin's Blessing, and Doomed Prophecy.
Let's go with Rainbow Bridge first, because I have played this a fair amount.
Okay. Rainbow Bridge is an Asgard character Asgard card where it's active. Any number of allied Asgard characters, so not splashes, that are not holding objective tokens may spend 3 power each to play this card. Characters that spent power are placed within 3 of their current location. Now, I feel like old school Asgard benefited from this a lot more because they had very static characters. These newer characters have a lot of charges or places and things like that, and maybe find it less helpful, but not by much. It's still a good card. Still a very good card.
Yeah, it's a really good card. I think that it's so flexible, and that's where its power comes from. It's have you got it open? I can't see it. I'll just open it.
I closed it already because
Yeah. So the flexibility here is that you can do it with extracts. So this is, I mentioned in the last episode how to...
Oh, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I mentioned in the last episode how to deal with Thor is to displace him, right? So this fixes that. He goes back to where he wants to be. You can run extract holders away. You can position people for the perfect turn. It's basically because they can all place differently, right? Any Asgardian could just pay 3 to be exactly where they want to be at that moment. So if they've been displaced, they can come back. If they're about to hit someone, they can go to where they want to hit. And it's great. It's very cool, very thematic as well, because they have this Rainbow Bridge thing that they can use to get around. So very good card. I think it's an auto take every game just because of how flexible it is. And sometimes you're just going to pay 3 just to get Thor back in the action, and that's the only thing you do with it, and that's pretty great, to be honest.
Totally. The other one, though, is clearly stapled. You always see this card. It's called Odin's Blessing, also Asgardian card, but reactive. When an allied Asgard character, so not a splash, would be damaged by an enemy effect, so it doesn't have to be an attack, they may spend 3 power to play this card, reduce the amount of damage suffered to 1, which is like the nerfed, the X-Men card?
Exceptional Healing. Which makes me I'm very sad reading this card as an X-Men player. There was a brief moment where we had Exceptional Healing and Xavier's Dream at the same time. And what a combo. But no more. Yeah. It was an X-Men card. It was a healing factor card. It's just that X-Men usually took it. So you could play it on like Lizard and stuff. This card is incredible. This card wins games. You take this.
Yeah, because think about it. Let's talk about the last 2 episodes. These guys are all big bruisers. They want to be in the thick of it. They have incredible stats. So you're like, oh my God, I managed to spike. Yes, I finally take down Thor 2. Boom. He drops the Odin's Blessing card on the table, and you are sad.
Yeah, 100%. This has Brace level of power. And Brace is a card that people take every game. This is a similar thing. And the longer you hold on to this, the more powerful it gets. I see a lot of new players. This was the same with Exceptional Healing, where they as soon as they get a spike, they play it. And I think that's a mistake. I think that this card wins games, and you should hold on to it because as the longer the game goes on, the damage you take is more important, and characters going down becomes more important because you're fighting over the last few VPs. You'll have your opponent will get a lucky spike on a character that is about to score a VP or activate, and this will save them. I would recommend. Well, first off, take this every game. This is their best card by far. It's good because Exceptional Healing got banned, and this card stayed, so it's good. Play it as late as you can, and just use it when your opponent's doing that last desperate attack to win the game. This can save you. Also, there's something worth thinking about. If they're doing a builder against you and they spike, say they're going to do 6 damage, they're about to get 6 power. This is also a good card to play then. So it might not necessarily be saving your life, but it can stop a character gaining a bunch of power. For example, against another Thor. If another Thor has just spiked the builder into you, Exceptional Healing means that he only gains 1 power as well. He only dealt 1 damage. So it can also help that. If you know a character is trying to get power to do something like a throw to get you off point, it can stop that as well.
That's super important. Good point, and probably one that people don't think about because it's not as obvious.
Yeah, it's not just and also bear in mind sometimes it's okay for your characters to daze. And if they're dazing early, I see new players being like, "Oh, I'm going to Odin's Blessing so that he doesn't daze." It's like, no, let him daze. They're going to come back and they're going to have loads of power, and they're going to, Odin's Blessing can come later to stop them from KOing, which is way worse.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hold on to that card if you can.
All right, the last of the cards from Asgard is called Doom Prophecy, also a reactive card. At the start of the activation phase, so that's all the way at the beginning, after your power phase, an allied Asgard character can spend 3 to play this card. This character cannot roll defense dice against physical attacks for the rest of the game. Boom. Just no physical defense. Additionally, this character adds dice to its physical attacks equal to the physical defense until the next cleanup phase. And most Asgardians that I can think of have at least have 4.
Yeah.
4 physical defense.
You're basically adding 4 dice, 4 physical dice to your attack for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Oh no, until the next round. Oh no, it's just for this round.
For the round.
You don't roll defense dice for the rest of the game, but you get extra dice for the round. Yeah.
This reminds me of Lady Thor's Heart of the Worthy card.
Oh yeah?
Where, because she, that card, she gets to activate again, so she gets to do a lot of stuff, but then she pays a big price for it. And here it's the same thing. You're going to be a god, like a super god, because they're already gods, for that round. But then, physical attacks are going to do you in.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I think this card is situational. There's going to be a dream scenario here where you're going up against characters that only have energy or mystic attacks.
Energy attacks, yeah.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, this is a big swing for the fences, I think.
Against Guardians of the Galaxy would be good.
Yeah, they just revealed Nova, who only has energy attack. That's pretty funny. So you get all the benefit, but none of the downside. I think against some teams this is going to be great, right? You don't care that you're not rolling physical attacks, and then it means that I don't know who uses this. Mighty Thor has a physical builder, which becomes 10 dice if you play this. Pretty great. We just last episode we talked about how bad Brothers in Arms was, right? It makes Thor's builder 10 dice.
Well, bad meaning awful.
Yeah, bad as in bad for everyone except Thor. I think this is situational. It's a bit risky, but I think in some scenarios you can play this without the risk.
I'm gonna guess that Valkyrie has 3 physical health defense rather.
Yes.
So, because I'm trying to think, what's the cheapest Asgardian you could put this on? And she came to mind, so that's Valkyrie. Let's take a look. Oh, wrong.
Yeah,
wrong
Valkyrie has
page.
3. What about Scourge? Scourge has 4.
4. And what's his? And I think he's a 6
dice builder. He's getting 10 dice builders off.
10. Yeah, maybe this is a Scourge card.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, Scourge falls over a little easy. So once you've done, but then again, Brothers in Arms. The idea behind that is you just play it at the start of the activation. Oh no, this is the start of the activation phase. So you would have to go with this character first, I think, to avoid the risk of them just getting killed. Because the Scourge only has 6 health, but so if you punch him, he will probably just die.
Yeah. That's a good point. It'd have to be somebody you want to start going straight away.
Yeah. So there's a bit of, there's a bit of jostling around when this card gets played, which will take some practice, I think. But yeah, Scourge is a great target. Suddenly getting 10 dice, and then... so he gets 10 dice builders, and then if they have bleed, he can then spender them with a 12 dice spender with 2 rerolls if they have bleed. That's enormous.
Yeah.
Wow.
That could take out some big kaijus.
Yeah. And also, it's a good point you bring up. He's a cheap 3 threat, so if he then dies because of it, you're not so sad?
No, not at all.
Wow. Yeah, Doom Prophecy. There you go.
So I feel like it belongs in your 10, not necessarily in your 5.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we're seeing more and more characters getting released at the moment that aren't fully physical, which is cool because there's too much physical in the game. It's nice to see things.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
But take this into Convocation because they're not going to punch you back. Take it to Guardians, they're probably not going to punch you back. So yeah, it's great. Very good card. Definitely in your 10, like you say. And I think it's a lot of skill just to choose which games you take it in and then the rest kind of figure out.
For sure. Right. I think that brings us to the end of the episode. So why don't you tell us a little bit where people can find us?
Yes. So all the links are in the description. You can go find us on Facebook and Blue Sky. Discord.
No, yes, Blue Sky. Yeah, Discord. Discord's for boomers, dude. You got to get onto the Blue Sky.
We're on Blue Sky.
You got to get on Blue Sky.
I think has shares in Blue Sky and is making us use Blue Sky for some reason. I'm just letting him go with it. I'm not arguing. So yeah, Blue Sky is in the description, and Discord as well, where we chat to people, and people have been saying lots of really nice stuff to us on Discord. Actually, it's been really nice.
Been
it was a
really
little
nice.
bit nerve-wracking starting this podcast. You know, I saw that when you posted on Facebook, one of the first replies you got was, "Why don't you just start your own podcast instead of taking over across the Bifrost?"
I know, such a random complaint.
Oh, it made me feel bad. But no, lots of nice comments have happened. Actually, I was at an event yesterday, and someone just came up to me and was like, "I'm really glad it's back because I'm a new player, and it was a very good podcast for new players." So yeah, that's really nice to hear. So come chat to us on Discord and tell us what kind of stuff you want to hear.
Right.
Yeah, and if you want to support what we're doing, go to the Patreon. We have Patreon only episodes, well, sort of Patreon only episodes at the moment, where we interview people about their meta lists, and we do dojos with them and talk about their rosters, and that goes up on the Patreon when it's most meta relevant. And then they get released to everyone else a while after when it's less meta relevant. So that's kind of what you're paying for. So yeah, any support we can get, we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. But most of all, thank you so much for listening. And please spread the word about this wonderful game that we all love to play, Marvel Crisis Protocol. And perhaps also spread the word about this podcast to your friends.
For Midgard. I'm going to start doing that now.
For Midgard.
I'm going to start quoting characters at the end of episodes.
Maybe you should just do an ending that appropriate to the affiliation. Let's put a little challenge to you.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right. But we'll go with that one. So give us again. Send us out.
Yeah, all right. For Midgard!